Today I speak to a very, very interesting person. His name is Chacko Vadaketh. Now, academically, he was trained for courtroom drama. But where he eventually went and made himself a successful brand is in theatre drama. I had shared my thoughts about the performing arts scene with him because he's very, very much involved in it. So I told him that I found the performing arts scene in Malaysia is vibrant in diversity but fragile in sustainability. And he had some very interesting things to tell me on what I had shared with him. Unlike the early 90s, today we have a lot more platforms for performing arts. We have PJPAC, we have KLPAC, we have the MPO, and I think there's another place in Damansara which doesn't come to mind. With a lot more platforms like this today, does that mean we have a lot more theatre production shows? Does that mean there are more avenues for artists, for actors, for people that want to work in the theatre, people who want to work in performing arts? Are there more platforms for them now? Are there more opportunities for them now? Let's see what Chacko thinks about this. Today, we have MPO, KLPAC, DPAC, PJPAC, and then I do not know if that studio in Penang is still active or not. I'm not so sure.
No, it's closed down. That was Actor Studio Penang, yeah.
Yes. Oh, Actor Studio. So we have all these venues, right?
And there's Istana Budaya.
Oh yeah, I've got Istana Budaya.
Which has been very quiet, and sadly. I think it's undergoing renovation.
So long.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have all these avenues, platforms, but what was the scene like in the early 90s when you were starting out in performing arts?
Oh gosh, that was very different. I mean, I think almost all the venues that you mentioned didn't exist.
Yeah, of course, yes. There was Actor Studio in Bangsa?
Yeah, that would have just been coming up.
Oh.
It wasn't in Bangsa. It was underground, Dataran Merdeka. Actor Studio was born there.
So that's where it first started?
Yeah. So once the car park was built, I mean, it was the Padang, then under the car park, they built, under the Padang, they built a car park, but about a third of it was like a shopping mall. And in the shopping mall, they had, Actor Studio had two venues. So it's a bigger theatre, maybe, I don't know, 200-seater. I don't know exactly how many. And then they had like a black box. And then they had like a cafe and a lounge area, and then Joe and Farida were running it. So they had their offices in there as well.
Right.
So it became like a focal point for the performing arts scene, at least the English language performing arts scene.
Right.
And that was where, a lot of stuff was done. It was very exciting, and it being kind of in the heart of KL, it was convenient for people to get to, and we would all hang out there. And easy for me because I was working as a lawyer then, and my firm, Shen Dalamo, was in the area as well, so I could just walk there after work and for rehearsals. But the other venue that was used a lot was the old town hall, Panggung Bandaraya.
Where was that?
City Hall. It's in Dataran, the old town hall, which is like falling apart now, like a lot of the heritage buildings in that area, which is heartbreaking. At least Sultan Abdul Samad building is now being restored. Good. And I think some of the other buildings are, but the old town hall is there, and the theatre is a beautiful theatre, built during colonial times. And I've performed there a few times. I think one of the first plays I ever did in KL after I came back from studying was Romeo and Juliet.
Over there.
And we did it over there with Zahim al-Bakri as Romeo, Hayati Mokhtar as Juliet, and I was Juliet's father, which is a bit sad.
Wow. What a senior role to play at a very young age.
With Sukanya Venugopal as Lady Capulet, so as Lord Capulet.
Right.
And Joe Kukathas as Mercutio. And it's from that production, directed by Andrew Lessie, that Instant Cafe Theatre was born.
Very nice. So just now you said that at least for the English scene, it was held in Dataran Merdeka. Were there theatres or any form of drama that was done in other languages? Because, Malaysia always had Malay, Chinese, and Indian.
I think other communities could, the theatre was there for anybody. So at least I was involved in the English language theatre scene. And that seemed to get more of the publicity and things. I think there would be pockets. And of course, there would be other, I think they did Udat and Dara and Usman Awang's plays and things like that.
Right.
And we actually did a tribute to Usman Awang in Actor Studio Underground.
Okay.
And I took part in that, and he came, and that was actually an amazing night.
And you said that place could host 200 people.
I'm just guessing. Maybe it's 100. My concept of numbers is not great.
No, it doesn't matter. I think the reason I'm asking is because there was a following. There was an interest.
It was very popular.
Okay.
And the thing is, there wasn't much else. Actor Studio is kind of the center point, and then Five Arts was born, but they would use the Actor Studio theatres.
Five Arts Centre,
which is founded by Krishanjit and Marian de Cruz.
Okay. Right.
So they didn't have like a performance venue, and then Krishan and Marian and Joe and Farida were kind of the pillars of the acting world at the time. Yeah.
Right. So when you first started performing arts, which year was this?
Oh gosh. I think I've been doing it all my life. I was quite involved in school and things.
Drama and all that.
We did speech and drama. We went for speech and drama classes, music. Like Saturdays, the whole morning of Saturday was spent we used to go to what was known as the Federal Academy of Music on Jalan Yap Kuan Seng, which was run by this fascinating lady. She was called Ada Weinman. She's a Ceylonburger, so she's kind of Dutch mixed, but she's a very sort of grand lady. And it was a house on Yap Kuan Seng, which had been converted into music studios. And then there was this old Englishman, Donald Davies, and he did speech and drama, and he lived in the Majestic Hotel. So that's where he lived. He had a suite at the Majestic Hotel.
Right.
And so we did speech and drama with him, and music theory, and recorder, and choral singing. All that was on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And then piano lessons were in the week. So we'd come back in the week for piano classes.
Piano lessons. Okay.
And that's how I suppose I first got into theatre. Then, of course, in church, the Marthoma Church that we had a lot of cantatas and things like that. So there's performances there. So I think that's how I first started.
Yep.
Unfortunately, when I went to VI, first I was in garden school. There's some theatre there, and I remember doing some plays. But VI used to have a very strong tradition of theatre, which people still talk about. And they used to have a Shakespearean play or other plays every year.
Yeah.
But it had kind of died out when I was there. So I didn't really have much opportunity to perform in VI.
But today, we have so many more platforms.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was mentioning earlier, we have PJ Pack, KL Pack, D Pack.
Mm-hmm. And then there's also Dewan Bandaraya that has just been renovated. So it's been, it's actually very nice.
Yep.
I was involved in a show just recently there. Amenity Chakravela by Sutra Dance Theatre, led by Ramli Ibrahim. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
So today we have more platforms, but does that also mean that we have more content? More artists or more people that has come forward to say, this is something I'm really interested to do compared to what it was.
Yeah, I would think so.
You do?
I think,
So it's flourished. It is done well.
I don't know about flourishing, I think...
Not commercially, but probably getting interest from people to be part of this activity, performing arts.
Yeah, the population has grown, so for sure there are more, just in terms of sheer numbers of people going, and the venues are being used. I think a lot of them, like PJ Pack, I think is booked out for a long time. But it could also be like school productions, and there's also a lot more, say, international schools. And actually, I was just talking to somebody that I work with, Wei Jun, and he's saying that these private schools, they have so much money. Their productions have more budget than some of the professional theatre companies to put on a play.
That's very encouraging.
Yes and because I guess they're rich. They've got...
Why the yes and no? I sensed...
I think it's quite sad that professional theatre companies don't have much of a budget,
yes,
right?
okay.
So they're limited in what they can stage, many of them. So, but I think if you're wealthy and you go to a wealthy, a private school, then they can fund kind of high-end productions. And that also just being involved in school productions would then, some of them will get bitten by the bug and want to do it professionally, later.
We're talking to Chacko Vadaketh, a professional whose work, whether on stage or in a voiceover booth, is defined by top-tier production quality. That same level of excellence should define your business's online presence. Like a theatre production, if your brand feels like low-budget or poorly lit stage production, it's time for a reboot. And how do you do that? This is where I introduce to you a sponsor for our video, PRR Elite, a full-service production house that will fit your brand identity. Need a stunning website? They will build it. Need a compelling video content? They will produce it. Need a strong company branding strategy that commands attention, very much like Chacko Vadaketh's voice? They will craft it. So stop outsourcing your digital presence to 5 different places. Get the full elite production suite. Website development, branding, PR, app development, and public relations, all under one roof. Visit PRR Elite today and see how they can transform or enhance your online presence. And I will leave more information about PRR Elite at the description below. Talk to you, Chacko, on not just the theatres and drama side, but also performing arts as a whole, right? Because in my very honest opinion, I think that we are vibrant in diversity, but maybe fragile in sustainability from where it was to where it is today. Like you said, there is so much of growth in terms of people that has come forward and say, I'm interested, I want to be involved in this. But I'm not so sure whether it was sustainable or not. So I'm going to take performing arts as a whole, right? Not just theatre and drama. So when I was growing up, watching TV, I could remember the likes of things like Kopitiam, Pimai Tang Tu. I think for a short while, Aflin Shauki did something in the early 2000s. I can't remember what it was, but we used to tune in for that. And then in terms
Jangan
of
Ketawa, is it Jangan Ketawa?
So there was Jangan Ketawa with I think
D and Mon and
but this was
Haris
early
Iskandar.
90s. Jangan Ketawa. And then Aflin Shauki came in much later, for a short while. So there was a TV scene. The performing arts scene, I used to remember the likes of course, you would know Ellen and Indy, and I guess a few others that would come. But we were too young to go and watch. And today we don't have that sort of caliber, I think, coming out, or names that we can remember. What do you think has caused this shift where at one point we were very attuned to certain types of content, whether it's TV or whether it's performing arts. But today it's very hard for me to even pick out a name or a content that I can say, oh, this is something that I enjoy. It's Malaysian product that I enjoy. Not saying it's bad, but I don't think it's
I think it's just we have access to so much more.
Yes, absolutely.
Because
Today,
of the internet and streaming and Netflix.
Correct.
And previously, like on TV, you just had
everybody
2-3
watched
channels.
the same thing.
So everybody watched the same thing.
Yep.
And even in theatre, it's been divided or diversified, or I think one of the biggest problems in the performing arts today is how do you tell people there's a show on?
Marketing.
Marketing. And, in the old days, as long as you got your show into the Straits Times and the Star, pretty much all your audience would somehow see it, you know. But now people don't read specific papers, A lot of what I read in terms of the news is whoever sends me stuff on WhatsApp or what's in certain WhatsApp chat groups.
Correct.
So then how do you find out, And that's one of the things, and our runs are short. So people sometimes hear about it, but the time they hear there's a good show on, it's over. Because you start open on a Thursday, you close on a Sunday matinee, 3:00 show, and then it's over.
Yeah.
And then people say, I heard there's a really good show, but by the time I heard about it, it's over. Or if it's really popular, it's sold out.
Right.
Stuff like that. So I think that's a major issue: is how do you market it? And I guess the only way is really through boosting on social media, because that's how you can get eyeballs on your product.
So just now you said that when people come to start saying, I wanted to attend, but the show is already over. That means the peak of the marketing success was in the middle of the show's execution.
Yeah, a lot of time is through word of mouth, you know?
And maybe not happened before that shows come on. So as I was just carrying on my earlier statements, right? So the other group that I forgot to mention in terms of theatre was Instant Cafe Theatre.
Yeah.
Which we used to look forward to going. And they also were invited to come on board to do shows at private organizations and companies. But I don't know if they're still around. Very much like I do not know
if I was a founder member of Instant Cafe, and they are around. I mean, Joko Kuthas is still active, kind of keeping the Instant Cafe flag flying. Was it last year? We had a big reunion show.
Right.
And then, it's kind of offshoot of Instant Cafe is Jit Murad's, which he and Zahim Al-Bakri founded, Drama Lab. So Drama Lab is from that. Indian Alan are also offshoots of Instant Cafe. So they were both musicians in Instant Cafe.
Okay.
And Alan was like our keyboardist, He accompanied us when we sang songs.
All right.
And then found that he could also act, and then found that he and Indy were amazing mimics.
Yeah, amazing.
And had a crazy sense of humor and all that. And then Comedy Court, I think, was a skit within Instant Cafe, then became a show on its own.
Right. Oh,
so there's a lot of people who came through Instant Cafe. Aflin Shawki was part of it at one time.
Instant Cafe Theatre.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so it's still there, but it's really Jo who's kind of doing it on her own. And then she just did a recent show called What Are Elders
Yes,
Left
you
Us.
mentioned to me.
Yep. So that was an Instant Cafe production, but really Jo and her producer, CK.
So just now I said that in my view, the performing arts scene in Malaysia is definitely vibrant in its diversity, but fragile in sustainability. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Okay. And I hate to do this, but I think we just have to look at Singapore. I think in the late 80s, early 90s, KL was really, the art scene was vibrant, and Singaporeans used to come here because there was so much going on, including like Instant Cafe and, Five Arts and productions and things. And Singapore was kind of struggling.
Now the reverse is happening.
It's now, and then I think Lee Kuan Yew just decreed that Singapore has to be a Renaissance city, and he decided that the arts was important.
Sure.
And that it can't just be one big shopping mall, and people want more than just shopping, and commerce and business, and it makes good business sense to have a vibrant art scene
and tourism.
Yeah. And so Singapore, then they set up the National Arts Council, and they provided, they brought government and private corporate funding together, and then they give it out to theatre companies. So if you're a established theatre company, or you can show that you're willing to work and stuff, they will provide you with like housing, to house your offices, maybe rehearsal studios, and then there's funding to put on shows. So it's very much a vibrant industry now in Singapore.
Correct.
And people can earn a living full time from the arts, which hasn't really happened here.
My biggest takeaway from all of this is that the Malaysian performing arts scene is creatively rich, but needs better structure, better funding, and a professional pipeline. And I hope, like me, you took back something as well. So until the next episode, my name is Josh G. This has been Unfiltered Business.